Hi guys, it's me, Miss Mary, just popping in. I wasn't gonna stop in, but then I thought, if I'm gonna vlog my life, I gotta get used to this again. And I gotta start sharing with you guys. So today is Sunday here in Michigan, and it's a snowy day. We got about 4 to 5 inches of snow. And so everything is kind of quiet, enjoying my day though. And after I made lunch for me and hubby, I thought to myself, I need to do some decluttering. I need to give my kids a gift. And you know what I thought about? I want to give them the gift of not having to go through and declutter my life once I'm gone. I know, because it's going to happen one day. When, I don't know. But all I know is I don't want my children having to raffle through and declutter the things that I should have taken care of myself. Like old papers. I'm here and I've got boxes on top of boxes. I'll show you some of them. Like just boxes like this. And I have I'm going to say about 20, to be honest with you. I have about 20 of these boxes that I need to go through. Old bills, old taxes, old check stubs, old receipts, old pictures of people that my kids have no idea who they are and would never know who they were. And just things that we have accumulated. And I thought to myself, I remember, I'm not quite sure. I think I met the lady at the store. I want to tell it right. I think I met this lady at the store, and she was telling me about how her daughter's husband, mother, had passed away, and that he came to the house and he was crying and he was so overwhelmed with all of the stuff that he had to go through. The boxes of things that his parents had, or shall I say his mother. I think the father had passed on. But he was so overwhelmed. He was having an anxiety attack over all of this stuff. Just the mere fact of thinking that he had to go through each and every one of those boxes. Because why? You don't know what's in the boxes. Is there money in the boxes? Are there marriage licenses in the boxes? Are there birth certificate in the boxes? What's in the boxes? And you know what? I'm going to just confess here while I'm talking to you guys, because what? We're doing life. And on this journey of doing life, I want to be totally transparent with you. Except we go through and label every single box. And I got to be honest, my boxes are not labeled. They do not say death certificates, birth certificates, marriage license. No. Now, I do have those things in a specific spot, and all of my kids know where our living trust is. That's something we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a living trust. I've got to share that with you guys. I can't pass on until I share it with you. The importance of it. And we will get to that one day. So sometime from time to time, I'm just going to pop in and I'm just going to be Miss Mary. No makeup, hair pulled back. Just got on a t-shirt here. We're just doing life. I'm not going to try to wait until I have some makeup on, wait till the time is right. If I'm going to be transparent and just show you my life, I want to show you my life. And I want to be as real with you as I can possibly be. So today, on Sunday, I'm giving my kids a gift. And this is just the beginning, because I'm not going to get through all 20, 30 of those boxes today. But you know what came in my mind, what dropped in my spirit, is that if you just take 2 hours a day and go through, I can even set a limit. Do 2 boxes, do 3 boxes a day. I can set a time limit, an hour, or I can say 2 hours, or I can say, hey, if I do 2 boxes a day, and I've got my handy dandy shredder here so I can get rid of it. Let me just show you guys that too. I got a shredder here and I'm shredding. I am shredding, getting rid of old bills, old receipts, bills I've long since paid off. I don't need that. And to show you that I'm serious, this is the second time I've emptied the shredder. I'm giving my kids a gift. I'm going to declutter my life, and I'm going to start with all of the paper and work my way through. You know, the thing about it is, I always felt like, oh, things are not so bad in my house. You know what I mean? I keep it fairly clean, and that's me because I like a clean space. But the thing that I had to think is, just because it's tucked away in a box doesn't mean that you're organized. Just because you're able to shove it in a drawer, out of sight, out of mind, doesn't mean that you're organized. You know, one day somebody is going to have to go through that stuff and filter through it, you know. So back to the young lady I met at the store. She said her son-in-law he was almost having a panic attack. He was so overwhelmed with all of the stuff that he had to go through. And I know some of you might say, oh, well, you know, that's what estate planners are for, and you can call somebody and have somebody come in there. Do you really want to just call a stranger and trust that they're going to be honest and above board with your mom's stuff or your dad's stuff? You know what? I'm looking at this like this. All of these boxes, all of this is my mess. And it's mine to clean up. It's mine, not my children. It's not their responsibility. Now, the furniture and those types of things, all the clothes that you don't wear, the shoes that you don't wear. I'm going to get to that part too. We're doing life. It's time to clean up. Is it wise in 2025? Yes, it is. It's wise for me to take care of this so that my children don't have to do it. All they need is a couple of pieces of paper. They need the living trust. They need the deed to the homes. They probably need a couple of, maybe we can go 3 years back with tax statements. But I've got so many things here. I'm just starting. I've got a lot. And like I told you, I've got like 20 to 30 boxes. I'm upstairs in one of the guest bedrooms, and that's just how many I've got. I've done 2 boxes so far, and I've decreased it down to 1, but that 1 is not full yet. But let's declutter. Let's do our kids a favor. Let's make life easy. If you die tomorrow, and I know we don't want to think about it, do your kids know where your things are? Are they able to get their hands on it? Do they know that you have paid for your burial? Do they know where the insurance papers are? Are they going to be able to find things, or are they going to have to raffle through 20 or 30 boxes to get to the things that they need? Okay, don't want to be boring. Don't want to bring you down on this Sunday. It's a great day. But at the end of the day, we're doing life. And life says what? We have to do right. We have to do right. And that means what? Decluttering. So let's leave our loved ones, our children, our friends, whoever's going to have to clean up your mess or clean up behind you. Let's give them a gift so that they'll say, Jane had it all together. She only had a couple of boxes and I had to go through. Mom had gotten rid of all of that stuff. And it didn't take us but a couple of hours. And then we can celebrate her instead of being angry or mad or disappointed. Why would you leave all this to us? My husband and I are investors. We're not on the big scale, but we bought some property. And we bought this one piece of property. And as a matter of fact, it was my son-in-law and I was his power of attorney for him. I found the house and told him, and he wanted it. And the family met me at the closing. We went by the house before the closing to make sure everything was still intact. And that's what you do before the day of the closing. Usually the day of the closing, not before. The day of the closing. If you're closing at 10 or 12, you go by the house first to make sure there's no garbage, everything's clean, everything's acceptable. And we went by the house, my husband and I. They had left everything except for what they probably wanted to take. They left the piano in there. They left the organ in there. They left her clothes, her coats, her boots. They left her paperwork in there. They left all of her things. It hurt me so bad. And I called our realtor and I said, they didn't clean out the house. We're not closing. So we went to close and she said, well, just come on. We'll discuss it when you get here. So we went down to close on the house and they said, we don't have time to clean it up. We couldn't clean it up. So, I charged them. I charged them a lot of money to clean that house out. And what I ended up doing is I sold the piano. I sold the organ. We sold a lot of the things. So not only did we charge them, but also we sold the things. And I remember calling my daughter. I have two. I won't distinguish between one. And I remember calling my daughter and I said, oh my God, my heart was just hurting. I was so upset. And I said, isn't that awful that they didn't even think enough to go and clean their mom's house out? And you know what she said to me? Mom, don't let that happen to you. I'm like, what? She said, while you're in your right mind and have the physical strength to do it, take care of your things. And I did. But there's still room to declutter more. Because over time, we end up, it's almost like it just seeps in. The paperwork just seeps in. All of a sudden, look like you got one box or two boxes. Next thing you know, you turn around and you got 10 boxes. Where did they come from? Because we're so used to just put it in a box and put a lid on it. I'll deal with it later. Put it in the box, put a lid on it. I'll deal with it later. We're so used to procrastinating or putting things off. And so we're going to get down to the nitty gritty on this channel. We are going to deal with life. We're going to deal with the ups, the downs. We're going to laugh and we're going to cry. Tell me, how many boxes are you going to do? What's going to be your formula? What things are you going to declutter in your life? Are you going to start with the paper first? Are you going to start with your clothing? Are you going to start with the fact that you have every towel, every color bathing towel in the world? Are you going to start with the household things? Are you going to start with those knickknacks? Oh, maybe you collect cats. Maybe you collect dogs. Maybe you collect salt. I had a friend that collected salt and pepper shakers. And the thing with collecting, and I have nothing against people who want to collect, is once you tell somebody you collected, they start giving you that. Every time I went on vacation and I thought about her and I wanted to give her something. Oh, she collects salt and pepper shakers. I remember going to her house and she had a curio, a big old cabinet, and they was just overflowing. I couldn't even find the ones that I gave to her because it was so many, just overflowing. And she said, yeah, it's getting to be too much now, so I'm not collecting them anymore. Just want to say, happy Sunday. Here's to doing life. We're going to do it one day at a time. Like, subscribe, and share. See you guys. Bye.